Welcome to Roughing It with Ruth, the channel where everything is a bit rough around the edges. It's a new year and I have some new outdoor gear. I just returned from a family trip to Japan, and all of these items that I'm about to show you I actually purchased in Japan while I was there. So I thought it would be a nice idea to go through all of them and unbox them with you. I actually haven't removed any of these from their packaging. They are exactly as I bought them, and I haven't tested any of them out. Some of them I think are quite unique. A lot of them I haven't really seen anywhere else, so I'm quite excited to get started unwrapping all of these presents. I think first up I'm going to start with something that is probably the most Japanese thing that I have here, and that is these little travel chopsticks from Mont-bell. Mont-bell is an outdoor company that is Japanese, and this one is called the Mont-bell Stuck In. Stuck in? Oh, I guess it's because of the way that they fold together. They're chopsticks, but you can kind of disassemble them and put them together in a little travel package. But in Japan, there are actually quite a few different companies that make these types of travel chopsticks, some of them more specifically for travel and some of them more specifically for outdoor use. And I looked at a couple of different ones while I was in Japan, and I still think that these Mont-bell ones looked the best to me. They come in a variety of different colors. I actually got 3 of these, red ones for me, green ones for my husband, and blue ones for my son. And they come with a little travel baggie. So these are the chopsticks that are made smaller for travel currently. This is just a bit of packaging. Let's see if I can get that off. And then this is the little travel pouch. It's got some Velcro at the top, and you can just slide the chopsticks in there and then close up the top. And it's got this little loop, so you can hang it off of something or put a carabiner on it, whatever you prefer. And this material is quite a sturdy canvas material, not like the most lightweight stuff. I guess if you were really trying to drop weight, you could just take the chopsticks like this. But what I really want to do is assemble these guys. So before I start doing that, let me just have a quick look at the instructions. So according to the instructions, the extended length of these is 21 centimeters and the folded length is 13.5 centimeters. So on the back of the packaging, it says, hold both ends of the stored chopsticks and unscrew the ebony pick by twisting. Flip the ebony pick 180 degrees and firmly screw them together. What's quite nice about Mont-bell is they do actually have some English on their packaging. Normally when I buy outdoor gear from Japan, I do need to use Google Translate on the packaging to read the instructions, but they actually already have a translation. Only used for chopstick purposes. I don't know what other purposes would you use chopsticks for? Chopsticks are not dishwasher safe. Okay, so that's important to remember, only hand washing. Here's one of the chopsticks that I've got in my hand. It says Mont-bell on the end, and then this is the part that's screwed in. So I'm just gonna unscrew that. It's got a little thread there, and there's what they call the ebony pick, like the chopstick side, and you turn it around and screw it back in. Wow, pretty sturdy. Let me do the other one and then I can actually feel what they're like in my hands. 21 centimeters for a chopstick for me is perfectly adequate. I've got pretty small hands, so that's actually perfect for me. I mean, that works really well. Yeah. The bottom metal part of these chopsticks is actually made out of an aluminium alloy, and the top part that touches your food is made out of natural ebony, which I also think is quite innovative, having the handle made out of a slightly more durable material and the tip made out of a more natural material. And surprisingly, they're actually very lightweight. alone, the chopsticks, they claim on the packaging, weigh 15 grams. And on my kitchen scale, I just weighed them now, and they only weigh 14 grams. And if you include the carrying case with the chopsticks inside of it, on my kitchen scale, it weighed 24 grams. So an incredibly lightweight eating utensil option. So although I did buy all of these items in Japan, not all of them are made by Japanese companies specifically. This one, for instance, is actually from Helinox. Helinox is most well known for those super lightweight backpacking chairs, like the Chair Zero and stuff like that. But this is something that I did not know that Helinox made. And as soon as I saw it, I knew that I really had to have it. It is the Helinox X5 Mag Reel Square Light Glow Edition. So this is what the packaging looks like. And the point of this little device is actually to hold onto something else for you as like a safety tether. And there are also lots and lots of companies that make this type of thing, but this particular one I think has some really nice features that I haven't seen in a lot of other types of these safety tethers. And this is the main component of the mag reel from Helinox. You can see it's got this square part and then almost like a keyring style and a little plastic bit at the top that can hook onto a strap. Let's go into the reasons why I specifically wanted to buy this safety tether mag reel thing. One of the things is that this part here, the square, is actually glow in the dark. So it makes it very easy to locate it at night. And I love things like that because often when you go camping or backpacking, there is not a lot of light and finding things can be really challenging. Hang keys and other small items to prevent them from falling or getting lost. And it can be attached and detached with one touch. It can be used in various scenes such as daily use and outdoor activities. Patent pending. Please do not hang anything more than 150 grams from this product. How heavy is my camera? I'm gonna have to go and check how heavy my camera is. The line may stretch if a load of 1.5 kilograms or more is applied to the product while it is unplugged. This string here is not actually metal as I at first thought, but it does seem to be a much stronger type of string than the other tethers that I've seen. It does say that the break strength of this is 1.6 kilograms. Oh, it says the magnet can hold 1.6 kilograms. The magnet can hold 1.6 kilograms. So you have to pull it pretty hard to pull it apart. You can actually see here, let's get it to focus. So it like snaps together and then you pull it. And this part is magnetic over here. And then it snaps back together like that. It also comes with this little Velcro strap in the packaging as well. And this pulls apart like this. I think this is the idea, is that this goes on here and then this can clip onto something, or you could obviously just use the little plastic hook at the top. So maybe if my camera is just a little bit over, I could still use it. I don't know. I will have to see. Still a very cool product. And I think for keys, if you're specifically looking for a thing to keep your keys, this is also really useful because it has the glow in the dark function and the little tether so they can't get lost or drop out of your pocket. And the tether is fairly long. It is 65 centimeters when it's fully extended. And it's got like a spring or something in it. So if you let go, it just snaps back into the casing. Okay, so the next product that I'm going to show you is also from Mont-bell, a Japanese company that I bought in Japan. And I actually already own two of this particular product in different sizes. So if you've watched previous videos of mine, you might have seen me wearing this down blanket as like a poncho. And I also have this size of that same blanket. So this one is the very first one of these blankets that I bought. Let me back up a little bit so that the camera can see this. So this is the small size of this Mont-bell down blanket. And it's very nice as like a little lap blanket, or you can just sort of throw it over your shoulders and use it as a shawl. This big one that I've used as a sleeping bag and a poncho, this is the large size. So the only size that I was missing out of all these down blankets was the medium. I just realized that I think I got it in almost the exact same color as the large. My large is like purple and navy blue. This one is purple. Oh, purple and purple. Okay, so I will be able to tell them apart without having to hold them out and see what size they are. But these down blankets are great. This is the packaging for the down blanket. And it kind of gives you an idea of the type of things that you can do with it. You can have it as a lap blanket. You can wear it as a skirt, have it draped over you like a poncho. So I'm very glad to complete my collection. Ooh, I actually love this color. That is beautiful. Wow, it's actually bigger than I expected. I mean, this covers way more of me than the small does. Kind of comes almost down to my knees. A little, like about halfway down my thighs when I wear it as a shawl. Sorry, I hope I wasn't messing with the sound too badly there. And then obviously you can wear it as a skirt. The way that you wear it as a skirt, it's got these little like cinch tassel things here that you can make smaller. It's just a really, really simple design that you can kind of pull in like such. And then you can wear it like a skirt. And the skirt is actually, it covers my entire leg. So this is actually quite nice if I wanted an extra warm layer for my legs at night. This is great because this also overlaps very nicely. You can do up the little press studs along the sides. That's why I love these blankets so much. They have so many features. They've got these little cinch strings at the top, but then they also have these little press studs over here. Is that camera focusing? I think so. They also have these little press studs over here that clip the blanket together into various shapes and kind of hold it in whatever position you've decided you want it in. And that makes quite a difference. And this is quite warm for me. Very, very full coverage. I mean, I could actually wear this as a skirt and be pretty happy with it. Now, it is worth mentioning that these down blankets are not meant to be super extreme cold weather, your only item of gear type of thing. They are sewn through the baffles, so the stitching goes right the way through the blanket wherever there is stitching, and there's not like a massive amount of down in each little square. But surprisingly, I've actually found that pairing these with other things, having them on over the top of other layers, or for instance, using the large size as a sleeping bag liner to improve the warmth of my sleeping bag, works exceptionally well. So if you use these in the correct way, they are actually fantastic, and they are so lightweight. That is, I think, my favorite thing about them. They pack down to nothing. They're extremely lightweight. In fact, let me see if I can just find the pocket on this one. Is it on this side or the other side? The one thing that I think could be improved slightly is the integrated pocket. On whatever side it's on, it's just exactly the same color as the whole rest of the blanket. So finding it can be slightly challenging, and it's just got like a little press stud holding it closed. But I'm going to stuff the entire blanket into its integrated pocket so you can see what the size is when it's stored. And even when it is inside of its pocket, you can compress it quite a lot more than that even. It's not made to be difficult to get into the pocket, which is also nice, because there's nothing worse than having to sit and fight with gear going into a stuff sack. And this is the size of the medium when it is all smushed up. My large one, I'm pretty sure I have some footage of it in its compressed form as well. I'll see if I can insert that here. My large down blanket in its pocket is a bit more than double the size of this. It's a little bit higher and a little bit wider. I can actually use it as a pillow. This one's a little bit too small to be used as a pillow, but extremely small. I mean, you can see I can crumple it down even smaller than this, and extremely lightweight. Let me actually go put it on the scale quickly and I'll tell you how much it weighs. Okay, so this little guy on my kitchen scale weighs 205 grams. So really lightweight. I think that's very much worth it. And I think that's probably lighter weight than like a pair of down pants. I've never actually owned a pair of down pants, so if you have a pair of down pants and you know how much they weigh, just correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But that seems like a very reasonable weight to me. And then keeping with the theme of sleeping stuff and Mont-bell, again, you can tell that I'm a huge fangirl of the Mont-bell brand. I also bought this brand new sleeping pad. And this sleeping pad, I'm actually really excited about. I don't know if it comes across in my videos that well, because I think I sometimes hold the camera up a little bit, but I'm really short. I'm only 160 centimeters. So most pads for me are much too long. Like they really have way more length than I need, but I do prefer having a wide pad. And particularly with the brands that are available in South Africa at the moment, it is extremely hard to find a short wide pad. But Mont-bell, this range of theirs, the Ultralight Comfort System Air Pad, this one is the wide 150 centimeter length model, but they have a massive range of different lengths for this particular pad in wide sizes and in regular sizes. I think the shortest length that they have is actually 90 centimeters, and the longest is like 200 or something. There's definitely a 180 as well. So this is the packaging that just comes around the bag, and it describes some of the features of this mat. There are little toggle systems and a pillow strap so that you can link multiple of these pads together with the toggle systems or attach a pillow above the mat, which is quite a cool idea. If you're going to be selling short pads, then even a taller person could use them if they attach a pillow above the actual sleeping mat. So that's an interesting innovation. This is definitely not meant to be a cold weather sleeping pad. Its R value, I think, is 1.4 or something like that. I did have a look on the website. It's either 1.2 or 1.4. I'll put on the screen what it actually is. But that's okay for me. I don't generally need a very cold pad for the types of adventures that I'm going on. And the other thing to keep in mind is that the pump bag for these pads is sold separately, and I did not buy the pump bag. I do have a different pump bag for a nature hike system that I could see if it would work. Otherwise, I'm going to try and just inflate it with my breath. Then this is the little stuff sack that the pad comes in, and it's got a little pocket at the top which contains a repair kit, which looks quite nice. You've got several different sizes of patches, as well as a tube of adhesive, and this looks like a spare valve, this little black thing in the bottom, all in a little Ziploc bag. So that's quite useful to have, and it's nice that they put it in a little pocket, so it's not just floating around inside here and is going to fall out when you take your sleeping bag out. But you actually don't have to just use the stuff sack if you don't want to, because this pad comes with an integrated strap. This is actually the pillow strap that they were talking about on the packaging, but it also doubles as a strap that goes around the pad to hold it in a rolled up shape. So you could just pack the pad like this in your bag. This strap is not detachable because it's obviously meant to hold pillows and things as well, which if you are counting grams, that might be a little bit annoying. I did weigh this pad on my kitchen scale without the stuff sack, without the repair kit, just like this, and it was 523 grams. These little toggles are what they're talking about to connect multiple mats together. Each of the pads has one in an upper corner and one in a lower corner, and then they also have little holes in the mat that the toggles can slip through. So if you are wanting to join multiple mats together to sleep as a couple or something, then you can do that without the pads sliding apart, which is a very cool innovation. Okay, let's turn the camera off and I'll get this blown up. My Nature Hike pump sack did not actually fit on the valve for this Mont-bell sleeping pad. It was a little bit too small, but the Airstream pump sack from Sea to Summit, which just happens to be the pump sack that comes with my husband's inflatable backpacking sleeping pad, does fit perfectly on the Mont-bell valve. So that makes me feel a bit vindicated for not buying the Mont-bell pump sack, because now we can use one pump sack to inflate both of our sleeping pads, which was a benefit that I did not even realize was going to occur. So this is the whole pad. You can see it definitely is short, but it's a rectangular shape and it is wider than an ordinary pad. Do I have the actual dimensions somewhere? It is 150 centimeters long. It is 7 centimeters thick and it is 60 centimeters wide. So normally sleeping pads I think are 50 centimeters, and if they taper then obviously the bottom part where it's tapered is even narrower than that. Oh, the materials that it's made from is 30 denier polyester ripstop TPU laminate. As you can see at the top here is the strap for the pillow. And here's the system of toggles and holes that I mentioned previously for attaching pads together. And apparently there are also other accessories that can attach to this pad. I'm not sure what those accessories are. That was just mentioned on the website when I had a look at this pad. Okay, so let's see if I actually fit on this pad. The moment of truth. The moment of Ruth. Wow. Wow. Okay, so the top of my head is currently right at the top of the sleeping pad, and I'm lying completely stretched out, and my heels are just dangling over the edge of the pad. No other part of me. So my ankle is still supported, but my heel is actually dangling over the edge of the pad, and that's actually quite comfortable. And I must say, this extra width is very nice, because normally what wakes me up when I'm backpacking is my arms kind of dropping off the sides of the pads and then becoming either cold or uncomfortable because of that. Let's try sleeping on our side. Ah, this is great. I'm obviously going to be testing it out on backpacking trips to gauge how comfortable it is, how warm it is, etc. And I will probably do a review of this pad at some point in the future on my channel. So if you are interested in that, then subscribe, because then you will get a notification once I do make that review. We have kind of one more item that is actually two more items. The one is a battery pack, so basically a power bank, but it is an outdoor power bank. So it is, I think, IP68, IP67. It is waterproof and dustproof, as well as shock resistant. And this is a LITE that can attach to this. I'm going to unpack everything and give you the grand tour of all of this. And this brand, Nestout, is actually a brand from a company called Alcom, which is a Japanese brand that makes power banks and fans and lights, sort of electronic equipment, really. And this looked really interesting to me. They actually had a lot of different sizes of these power banks. This is the medium size, so this is 10,000 milliamp hours. They also had, it was either 15 or 20. They had one larger than this, and they had one smaller than this, which the power bank was much skinnier. It was kind of half the size of this power bank. But let me get everything unpacked and show you these things and how they work together. Okay, so for the battery, you get this battery bank, which is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank. It's got a little button on the side there. It's got some indicator lights on the back. And then it's got this cap on the top, which is what makes it IP67. And it's got the USB-A and USB-C ports there. And at the bottom, it has this little screw attachment for a screw-in something, which we will have a look at in a moment. And then you also get a very short USB-A to USB-C cord in that same box. And then in the box with the LITE, this is what you get. So this is the LITE itself up here. This is an attachment ring. And this is a tiny little tripod stand. And you also get this little carry bag. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit the LITE and the battery bank in here. I'm really hoping I will. I'm going to test that out now. And the idea is that you take the little tripod and you screw it on to the power bank and you extend the legs, and then that gives you a nice stand. Something that you should be aware of is that the LITE is only IP44. It's not IP67 like the power bank. So the LITE, while it is waterproof and dustproof, it's not as waterproof. It's only IP44. So you shouldn't submerge it or anything like that. But still pretty good for an outdoor light. Looks like that attaches on there. Who needs instructions? Ruth doesn't need instructions. I mean, that obviously screws in there. And then, okay, so this is a little cap on the LITE. And there's a USB-A over there, and that is going to plug directly into this power bank here. If I just line things up, and you push this little black clip so that it clips in. There we go. I'm not sure if this has any charge. Oh, it does. It does actually have some charge. Let's see if I can turn the light on. Huh. So, the fantastic thing about this light, and what actually eventually swayed me into getting it, is the fact that it's dimmable. So you can turn this little toggle on the side. I think that's its lowest. Yeah, that's its lowest over here. And then you can make it brighter and brighter and brighter. And obviously it has like a built-in diffuser. So it's not like a headlamp that's kind of bright in your eyes. And you can then stand this power bank wherever you need it and have this as like an ambient light, which I think is great. And obviously you can still use this as a regular power bank to charge your electronics as well. Okay, so after using Google Translate on the packaging for the LITE, at the one side of the packaging, it does give an estimated runtime for the LITE if it is connected to a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So that's half the size of this one. And it says it should run the LITE for between 4.5 and 26 hours. And I understand why it's such a long range, because obviously it depends on the condition of the battery, and it depends on the temperature that you're in, and it also depends on what brightness you have the LITE set at. But regardless, I have a battery that is double a 5,000 milliamp hour. I've got the 10,000 milliamp hour battery. So this should be able to run the LITE on its dimmest setting for quite a number of hours, which is great because I think I will probably only need it, let's say, being generous, maybe 2 hours per night while I am cooking and getting ready for bed. And then I additionally also have a battery pack that I can use to charge my electronics, because I do have quite a lot of electronics, like my camera. So yes, I am extremely keen to get this out on the trail and test it out. So to undo everything, you just push the little black switch and pull the LITE out, and then take the connection ring off and put the top back on the power bank. Oh, and this actually also has a little, I didn't notice that, it's got like a little, what do you call this? A little hook, not really a hook, but an eyelet that you could put a carabiner through to hang it off of a tent pole or something like that. I suppose the one downside to the setup is that there are a fair number of moving parts. There's the light and the O-ring and the tripod and the power bank. But I think having the little carry bag should make those niggles not a problem. The carry bag is not the most robust material. Like that's the only part of this setup that feels a little bit cheap to me is the carry bag, but I'm glad that everything does fit in here. Everything can be self-contained in its little baggie, and I don't have to worry about this power bank getting wet, which is a huge deal. So I'm very happy to have this. Hopefully you will see a lot of these gear items being used on my upcoming trips. So if you are interested in seeing that, then please subscribe to my channel so that you can see future videos that I make. Or if you want to watch something from me right now, you can click on my channel name because I have a huge archive of old videos that you are welcome to go and take a look at.